Let me talk about the debate drama. So there's a lot of debate drama coming up. There's a Thursday night debate, the last Republican debate before the Iowa caucuses next week. If you're from Iowa and you're not registered to vote, I think it may be too late. I'm really not sure about the rules in Iowa. I'm sure somebody's Googling that now for me and send it to me at the BPD show. But anyway, if you are registered and you're going to participate, there is a debate on Thursday rather, for Fox News. And Donald Trump has said that so long as Megyn Kelly is the moderator, he's not going to participate. And so he's pulled his name. I think he's saying it's a done deal. He's not going to participate in the debate on tomorrow night. And so what's interesting about this to me, besides Donald Trump's bombosity, is the fact that this really may hurt the ratings for Fox News. Now, you know, it could backfire on Trump. It could turn out to be the highest rated watched iteration of the debates, because people want to see how this is going to play out with Trump missing, or how they are going to attack Trump. Something tells me Trump is really not going to live up to this, that he might show up. Somebody's going to cave in, and Trump is going to show up, because I can't imagine him the week before Iowa not participating and leaving, really giving room for a less idiotic Republican debate. Not a fully mature adult conversation, but just one that is less idiotic. And then it will give Republicans a chance to see what a stage of less stupidity actually looks like. So that might backfire on Donald Trump, number one. Number two, it could backfire because it would people would want to see how everyone else performs in the absence, in his absence, and people would want to see if the remaining clowns actually attack Bernie Sanders. God, the remaining clowns attack Donald Trump. So you know, it's a good publicity stunt for today, but tomorrow it very well backfire. That's on the Republican end. The good news, in my opinion, great news, is that MSNBC and a New Hampshire newspaper has decided that they would host their own unsanctioned Democratic debate. I want to give an applause to Fox News and the New Hampshire Union leader for one, just being bold enough to actually buck the system. This pathetic debate schedule that we have had, the timing, the nights, just everything about it has been ridiculous on the side of left-leaning progressives, liberals, and Democrats. MSNBC probably just doing it for ratings, right? I'm sure they don't give a damn about what, you know, the actual conversation, because, you know, they'll just as soon play a Donald Trump rally over a Bernie Sanders or Martin O'Malley rally any day. So I'm not thinking that they're doing this out of the sincerity of their heart. They're doing it for ratings. Well, this is one time I think being selfish and doing something for ratings is actually going to be beneficial to democracy, right? So Martin O'Malley is the only one who has signed on. It will be interesting to see how this plays out, because MSNBC is going to be hosted by Rachel Maddow and Chuck Todd. So there's going to be people watching. And if it's a debate of one, then it's going to be a great opportunity for Martin O'Malley to participate, to get the attention of the entire United States by himself. I don't know how this is going to play out. But I think it is great that they are bucking the system, kicking back against Debbie Wasserman Schultz and her just unapologetic sandbagging of this competition, to the extent where it's so blatantly obvious that it's insulting that they're even trying to pretend that this is not biased. And then she came out, 2 weeks ago, and said that she tried the very best she could to make this the most rigorous debate and most well-watched debate season, and she just doesn't know what happened. So here to MSNBC, to the New Hampshire Union leader for doing this. Now, there are penalties for this if anyone participates. Martin O'Malley has essentially said he's got nothing to lose. So he's already signed up for this, because when you're at 1%, like 3%. What do you have to lose? So he signed up for it. But anyone who participates in an unsanctioned Democratic debate will be banned from participating in a sanctioned debate. I think it would be good on all three of the remaining Democratic candidates to say, you know what, the people want this. Even if the establishment doesn't want this, the people want this. And I think it would be a really good look, because to hell with the establishment at this point and the foolishness that they pulled last night. I documented through some tweets this morning how last night was nothing but a love fest for Hillary Clinton. That's it. That's all last night was really about. When you saw the headlines this morning, right? The headlines this morning, CNN declared that Hillary Clinton got a bump, but they did so by showing a Fox News poll, which had her up by 6 points, instead of showing their own poll, which had Bernie Sanders up by 8 points. And the average of all the polls showing that it was a statistical dead heat in Iowa. But that wasn't the purpose of last night. The purpose of the forum last night was really just to give Hillary Clinton the last word and the easiest questions for Iowa. And I'm sorry, you could disagree with me all you want. It's so patently obvious. This was an unplanned event that popped up at the last second. And if you look at the polls in Iowa and you saw how the polls converged from like a 30-point lead, and I don't have it in front of me, so it could have very well have been 20 points, but whatever. Bernie Sanders closed an amazing gap. And then all of a sudden, once this gap closed, Debbie Wasserman Schultz says, we need to have another forum. They have another forum. In the middle of the forum, they misconstrue everything Bernie Sanders said for 45 minutes and put out a headline saying Bernie Sanders is going to raise taxes. That's all they took from the entire time he spoke. Then afterwards, they began to talk about Hillary Clinton having a great night. The next morning, they talk about Hillary Clinton getting this 6-point bump, according to Fox News, completely ignoring their own poll showing that Bernie Sanders was up by 8 points. So good on MSNBC. Good on MSNBC, because in light of all of that, in light of all of the foolishness surrounding this, somebody needs to do something to help the Democratic establishment understand that even though you are in power, you do not control us. And so I'm hoping Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton would join in on this unsanctioned debate. Caller, you're live on the air. What's your name, comment, or question?